Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Learning English Easy channel, where learning English is simple, practical, and sometimes a little bit funny. I'm Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. Hello, everyone. I'm Tom, and I'm very happy to be here. Honestly, talking with you and drinking coffee at the same time is my favorite job activity.
That explains why you always look so energetic. Tom, did you have a good morning today?
Yes, I did. I had a very productive morning. I finished some tasks, I had a big breakfast, and I only checked my phone maybe 20 times.
Only 20? That's impressive self-control. My morning was nice too. I'm drinking my favorite tea and I'm excited about today's topic. But first, Tom, we should say something to our listeners.
Oh, yes, very important. Everyone, if you enjoy our conversations, please click the like button right now. It takes 1 second, and it makes us very happy.
Exactly. And please subscribe to Learning English Easy channel. When you subscribe, you won't miss our new episodes. We're here every week to help you improve your English. Oh, when would you be setting up fire last night?
And don't forget to share this podcast with your friends or family. If they are learning English, they can listen with you. Learning together is always easier, and sometimes funnier, especially when Tom makes jokes. Hey, I'm a very serious professional, sometimes.
Sure you are, Tom.
Okay, Sarah, what is our topic today? Is it food? I'm always ready to talk about food.
Of course you are. But no, today we are talking about jobs.
Ah, jobs. The question everyone asks, what do you do?
Exactly. When you meet someone new, one of the first questions is usually about their job.
Yes, after what's your name and where are you from, the next question is always, what do you do?
But for English learners, it's sometimes hard to talk about their job. They know basic sentences like, I'm a teacher or I'm a student, but they want to say more.
That's why we're here. Let's start with the most common question. Sarah, what do people usually ask?
The most common question is, what do you do?
Short, simple, and very useful.
Exactly. Some people also say, what is your job? Or what do you do for a living?
For a living sounds a little more formal, but it means the same thing.
Right. So Tom, let's practice. What do you do?
I'm a podcast host. I work here at Learning English Easy channel. I talk, I laugh, and sometimes I drink too much coffee.
That last part is very true.
And what about you, Sarah? What do you do?
I'm also a podcast host, and I work as an English teacher. I teach students from many different countries.
Wow, a teacher. That's a very important job. Do you work in a school?
Actually, I work from home. I have a desk, a big computer, and many books. Working from home is great. No traffic, no commute, and you can wear comfortable clothes.
Working from home is great. No traffic, no commute, and you can wear comfortable clothes.
Exactly. Sometimes I'm teaching a lesson and secretly wearing very comfortable slippers.
I hope your students never find out.
Don't worry, they only see the top half on the camera. Very smart. But many people work in an office. They travel to work every morning. Tom, do you like working in an office or at home?
I like the office because I can see my colleagues. A colleague is someone you work with.
Yes, colleagues or teammates. It's nice to talk during coffee breaks.
Coffee breaks are very important. Without coffee breaks, offices would be very quiet and very sleepy.
That's probably true. But when I work at home, it's very quiet and I can focus. Focus means concentrating on one thing very carefully.
Now let's think about different places people work. A doctor works in a hospital. A teacher works in a school. A chef works in a kitchen or a restaurant. And a pilot works on a plane.
Yes, but every job has a routine. Routine means the things you do every day in the same order.
First, I check my emails. We get many messages from listeners. Then, I prepare the podcast script. After that, I talk with you, Sarah.
That sounds like a busy morning. Words like first, then, and after that are great for explaining routines.
Exactly. For example, first I arrive at the office, then I have a meeting, and after that I eat lunch.
Speaking of meetings, do you like meetings?
Only short ones. If a meeting is too long, my brain starts thinking about lunch. Same here.
No, let's talk about tasks. Tasks are the things you do at work. For example, if you are a doctor, your tasks are helping sick people and giving medicine.
If you are a chef, your task is cooking delicious food. And if you are a manager, your task is leading a team and organizing projects. Some jobs are difficult. In English, we can say, my job is challenging. Challenging means difficult but interesting.
Exactly, and sometimes a job is also rewarding. Rewarding means it makes you feel proud and happy. Teaching is very rewarding because you see students improve.
Now let's imagine a short conversation.
Okay, let's practice. Hi, Tom. Nice to meet you. What do you do?
Hi, Sarah. Nice to meet you too. I'm a journalist. I work for a large newspaper.
That sounds interesting. What do you write about?
I write about travel. I visit different countries and write about the people and the food.
Wow, you travel a lot. Is your job busy?
Yes, very busy. Sometimes I work on weekends, but I love it because I see the world. What about you, Sarah? What do you do?
I'm an accountant. I work with numbers all day in a big office in the city center.
An accountant? Wow, numbers all day? My brain gets tired just thinking about that.
Don't worry, Tom. Not everyone has to love numbers. Someone has to count the money in the world.
That's true. Is your job difficult?
Sometimes it's a bit repetitive, but I like my colleagues, and we always have fun during lunch break.
Lunch break is the best part of the day in many jobs.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about something interesting. What is more important, a high salary or a fun job?
That's a difficult question. Salary means the money you receive every month.
Personally, I think enjoying your job is very important. If you are happy at work, your life is better.
I agree, but we also need money to pay for things like food, rent, and maybe coffee.
Coffee is definitely a life necessity.
For you especially. Now let's talk about the difference between job and work, because many English learners confuse these words.
Good point. We say I have a job, but we say I am at work.
Exactly. Job is the position you have. Work is the activity you do. So you say I'm looking for a job, but you say I'm going to work. Another common word is boss. Almost everyone has a boss. A boss is the person who tells you what to do at work.
Luckily, my boss is very kind. Is that because you are the boss, Tom?
Maybe, but please don't tell anyone.
Some people are their own boss. We call them self-employed. For example, a photographer or a writer who works independently. Being self-employed means more freedom, but also more responsibility.
Yes, because you have to do everything yourself. Now let's talk about commute. The commute is the journey from your home to your workplace. Sarah, do you have a commute?
Yes, from my bed to my desk. It takes about 10 seconds.
Wow, that's the shortest commute in the world.
I know, it's very convenient. My commute is longer. I take the bus for about 30 minutes.
What do you do during the bus ride?
I usually listen to music or podcasts. Sometimes I practice English.
That's actually a great idea for our listeners.
Yes, if you are listening to us on a bus or in a car right now, hello! You are doing a great job practicing English. Now let's talk about skills. Skills are the things you are good at. For my job, I need communication skills. I need to speak clearly and listen carefully. I also need computer skills because I use a laptop every day. Some people need manual skills, like a mechanic who fixes cars with their hands. And some people need creative skills, like artists or designers.
A useful sentence is, I'm good at. For example, I'm good at talking to people. Or, I'm good at solving problems. These phrases are very useful in a job interview. A job interview is when you talk to a company because you want to work there. Interviews can be scary. I always get a little nervous. That's normal, but practice helps a lot.
You can say things like, I have experience in, or I'm a hardworking person. Hardworking is a very positive word, but it's also important to have work-life balance. Work-life balance means you work, but you also spend time with family, friends, and hobbies.
Exactly. Life is not only about work. On Friday afternoon, I usually tell my colleagues, have a nice weekend, and then I stop thinking about work. I try to do that too, but sometimes I suddenly get a new idea for our podcast on Sunday. That's because you love your job, Sarah.
Yes, that's true. All right, Tom, today we talked a lot about jobs.
Yes, and we learned many useful words and phrases. We talked about the question, what do you do?
We talked about workplaces like offices, hospitals, and working from home. We also discussed routines, tasks, colleagues, and commute. And we explained the difference between job and work, plus skills that are important for many jobs.
Exactly. I hope our listeners now feel more confident talking about their jobs in English. I hope so too. Thank you everyone for listening today.